1-3b, okay? Very similar to 1-3a in that we're still working on segments. Remember yesterday I said, if this is your segment, right, and I take this, my elbow to my fist, and then my elbow to my other fist, and I add them together, I get the whole thing. Today is different, okay? Today, is it Friday? No, it's Monday. Oh, I didn't change it up there. Or did I? Is it?
Today is the 23rd.
Where am I at? Informal. The 29th. Today's the 23rd. Yeah, Monday is your quiz. And we'll do some review before then. So today we're going to talk about, it's called a midpoint of a segment. Any guesses what a midpoint is? The middle point, okay? It's a point in the middle of a segment. So my midpoint, if I'm talking about my arms right now, my midpoint is right here, right? Directly in the middle of my two arms, midpoint. So it's a point that divides the segment into two congruent, sorry, whenever I'm plugged in, it does funny things. We'll just unplug. Does anyone remember the symbol for congruent?
The little squiggly.
The squiggly over top of the equal sign, right? So two congruent segments, okay? There will be, it can be a point, a line, a ray, or a segment that cuts the segment into two equal parts. So that's called the bisector. Okay, so whenever I say this is a bisector, I mean this is cutting our segment into two equal parts. Okay, it is a bisector. So for instance, point B right now is a bisector. And here's how they will mark it for you. See these little hash marks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how they show you things are congruent. So right now they're saying this piece of the segment and this piece of the segment are equal. Okay, now let me show you how they do this if there's more segments involved. So let's say we have this segment and we have, oh, that is not smooth, this segment. Okay, here's what I want you to see. If I'm trying to mark two sets of segments congruent, does it look like all four of those pieces are congruent right now? Are they all equal in length? No. Okay, so here's what we do. If this is my midpoint, I can mark these ones congruent with one hash mark, but because the other two are shorter, I cannot mark them congruent with one hash mark. If I do this, I'm saying all four of those are equal, and they are obviously not, right? Any guesses what we do to show the distinction? We just add another hash mark somewhere. So if this is going to be 1 and 1, then I'm going to go 2 and 2. And that tells me that the two longer ones are congruent to each other and the two shorter ones are congruent to each other, but all four of them are not congruent to each other. Okay, so if I were to add another line that cut through, how would I mark these ones congruent? 3 hash marks, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see what segments are congruent based on how many little hash marks are given to you. All right. Questions on that?
It can go up to as many.
You can have as many as you want. Yep. As long as they match up, right? As long as if it's 4 here, it's got to be 4 here.
Does it matter where the hash marks are?
No, they usually put them kind of in the middle of the segment that they're trying to mark, but you can put them anywhere. Yeah. Okay, this is all you have to do with it.
That's the homework?
Here's your, no. This is all you have to do, what I'm going to show you right now. This is the application of a midpoint. Okay, so example 4 here, it says Q is the midpoint. Okay, when they say that, notice I highlighted it for you because that is hugely important because that's what tells you we do this problem different than the problem we did yesterday. Okay, Q is the midpoint, which means this segment is congruent to that segment, right? If it is a midpoint, we have equal parts on either side. Anybody think they know how we're going to solve for X in this problem? True it.
With algebra.
With algebra, yes, we are absolutely going to use
Combining
algebra.
my terms.
How?
I'm going to take the 1 and the 7, and the same thing with the 6 and the 5.
We're going to add them together?
Yeah,
No.
kind of. Not really.
We are going to do something with
We're
them
gonna
all.
combine them.
We're not going to combine them,
We're
though.
not going to combine them.
Not yet.
We're going to use algebra.
How'd that work, Molly? Good? Thank you. It's kind of fun, right? If it is a midpoint, what's true of these two pieces?
They're the same.
They're the same. What's another word in math for the same?
I forgot it.
Equal. They are equal, right? Which means we are going to set them equal. Okay, so when you see that something's a midpoint, we're going to say 6x minus 7 equals 5x plus 1. How is that different than what we did yesterday? Did we set them equal yesterday?
No,
No, we did what with them yesterday?
didn't set them equal.
Right. We added them together, right? Yesterday we added the parts together and we set it equal to the whole thing. Now we're saying, nope, the parts are equal. So 6x minus 7 equals 5x plus 1. Tell me what you do first to solve that equation.
Divide.
Not divide.
Subtract.
Subtract. We're going to take away 5x on both sides,
So
right?
X.
So it's 1x, or just x, minus 7 equals 1. Take away that 5x. What do you do next?
Add the 7.
Add the 7. So you get x equals 8. Okay? Now, read the question that they asked. What are PQ, QR, and PR? Okay? PQ is this segment. So we want to know the length of that. How do you do that?
You plug it in.
Plug it in. Yeah, we're going to plug an 8 in here. So PQ is going to be 6 times 8 minus 7. What is that? Can you do that in your head? 6 times 8, anybody?
48.
48 minus 7 is 41. Okay. Now, before you try to do any other math, you should be able to tell me what QR equals without plugging anything in. What should QR equal? If this is a midpoint,
It should equal 41.
it should equal 41, right? If that's a midpoint, those parts are equal in length. So if this one's 41, then this one should be 41 also. But let's plug it in here to check. 5 times 8 plus 1 is 41. Okay. Okay, so if we're still trying to find PR, what is PR going to be? What is PR?
Is it also 41?
It's not 41.
It's 82.
It's 82. Yes, 41 and 41 makes the whole thing, right? So 41 plus 41 is 82. Wonderful job. Okay, so here's what you need to do. This problem is oh so very similar. I want you to try to solve it with some people around you. Work with a neighbor or 2 or 3 or 4 and see if you can figure that. Tell me what you got.
I got 15.
15. Did anybody else get 15?
Yes.
Yeah? Tell me what you did to get 15.
I subtracted 3x.
Okay, what'd you do? How'd you set it up?
I put 4. This is how I set it up. I did so. I
Just
put
read it to me. 4x, yeah.
minus 6
Okay.
equals 3x
Equals.
plus 9.
Right. Okay, so we set them equal. Okay.
Then I subtract 3x on both sides.
Then subtract 3x from both sides. So we get x minus 6
Equals 9.
equals 9.
And then I added 6 to both sides.
Then add 6 to both sides.
And I got x equals 15.
So x is 15, correct. And that's all you really had to solve for, right? Was what was x? Can you check that you did it right?
plug 15 into both sides.
Yeah, if you plug 15 in here, right, that would be 4 times 15 is 60. 60 minus 6 is 54, right? If I plug 15 in here, that's 45 plus 9, which is also 54. So that just means we did it right because we got equal parts, and you should get equal parts when it's a midpoint. Okay? Questions on that?